video should, yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we see that it's live now. So can you go to the YouTube channel? Isabel. Look, Papa is there.
You see it?
We see that it's live now. So can you go to the YouTube channel?
That's it.
I don't see it. I see you, Mark, because the camera is tracking you. Yeah, I don't have to see it. Just go on the YouTube link and press share. And then the embedded.
Embedded?
Then when you see a lot of things, just copy paste everything inside the inverted commas of SRC. SRC equals to.
Hey, YouTube video, huh?
Or just send me the link of YouTube video.
In WhatsApp or where?
Yeah, WhatsApp. Isabel.
It's this one. So, Mega, if you, I put it in the chat. You can, I think it's the first one. I think it's this one here. You can check and then send it to Suja. Hello? Are you still there, boss?
Yes, Mark. I think Mega is sending to Suja.
Ayushma, can you call Sujab because he's not online? And ask him to
operator.
put the link on eTrain, huh?
Mhm.
And then you can check on eTrain if it works or not.
And what else I need to do? I need to test like the microphones. Let's see if you hear them very well.
Yeah, please. I mean, we hear it. I think it's
But
enough.
you hear me. Let's
Yeah.
say let's do a check. To put full audio settings. Audio, do I need to change something? Or?
Nothing. We hear you perfectly. And can you go a bit far that we can hear? Go to the center where the speaker would be generally.
Quality.
And keep talking.
Also, you should not even hear the people outside. So if I talk here, what do you hear? Can you hear my question?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey, Sodri, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Hello, Mega. This is Mario.
Hi, Mario. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. We're just checking last minute live streaming.
Yeah, I heard you are the technical pro.
Brain.
The technical brain.
Yeah, you see, look how
Same like in my house.
Also,
I have no idea. I'm lost about with my wife, about my wife.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Always the wives are the bosses. So hello. I think it's perfect.
Hi, yeah, I think it's quite clear. We can hear everything. Yeah, just keep it. Maybe you should test also the presentation, please.
Is the camera following? I think it is. Huh? No, it's not. It has stopped. But you can hear me. You could hear me. Hello? Why you not?
Yes.
Yes, we hear you. Just try with presentations because sometimes, yeah,
Okay.
and if you have a video from Samba that you want to play it again before, just test it out with the sound and everything.
Yes, Aishma, can you send me this Google link with all the videos and presentation?
Yes, Mike, I did.
Link? Where?
On your
Here.
WhatsApp. Mhm.
So what do you see now? Do you see the screen? No, you don't see.
Yes, the drive.
You see? You see the Google Drive?
We see you, Mike, from the Zoom call.
Okay, so I don't share the screen. Okay, so I share now the screen. Screen 2. Now?
Yes, now we can see the drive.
Now, Makeup, do you know how I can solve this, that we don't see this below? What can I do that you don't see this part? Now, Makeup, if you're talking, you're silent.
Sorry, in Zoom, you can select which screen you want to show the audience.
No, but the problem is more, or do you know it? Like, how can we do that this is not seen? This part. No, no. I thought you wanted to say. Is it just
Bisschen also.
Yeah, I make it. Oh, yeah.
Geh mal, wenn du auf die Punkte da oben gehst, was ist noch? Rechts oben.
Wo?
Rechts.
Hier. Nee, aber ich schon die du riesig gemacht, sorry, ja.
Nee, das ist gut, aber irgendwie, das geht. Aber da, geh mal.
Wo?
Doch da, wo du gerade warst.
Oder da.
Ja, was ist da mit dem Zoom? Guck mal da so. Nee, nee, du warst da gerade. Weißt du, schnell, geh noch mal rechts zum Punkten. Weißt du, dieser, da beim Zoom, bei dem
Zoom.
Da, geh mal da rechts, ne, zu diesem Pfeil rechts.
Da.
Ja.
Ganz gut. Yeah, okay. Yeah, perfect.
That's
I
it.
think now you only see the Zoom, huh?
Yeah, you need to just make sure that it's not just for the online people, that also the offline people can see everything.
Yeah, no, only they see now everything, so it's perfect.
Okay, super. Then I think we can sign out. Maybe Ayushma, let's meet on E-Train to test.
Okay.
So we go, huh, Mark? I think it's sorted there.
Yeah, I think we're good. Amazing.
Okay,
Huh?
bye. Have a nice event. Good luck. We will be on E-Train testing.
Huh? Okay. Perfect. Tell me, huh? Okay, good job. Also, perfekt, hè? Danke.
Ja, cool.
Ja, das ist schon schnell gegangen, hè?
Also, ist der Next Level.
Ja, es ist top. Also, ja, wir haben schon viele Konferenzen gemacht. Also, wir haben auch so ein ganzes Mischpult und alles.
Ja, ja.
Ja, das ist cool, ja.
Stell da noch einen Tisch.
Danke, gerne, ja.
Dann können wir da noch Wasser und so weiter für das Video. Ja, das ist gut stark. Nice. Wie viel Speaker habt ihr?
Also, im Panel sollten es 4 sein, ja.
Geometrie und Vorträge.
Zuerst zwei Vorträge.
Machst du auch eine Pause? Oder gar keine Pause?
Ja, nicht wirklich, aber,
Okay.
also wir können schon kurz, wenn du noch möchtest, oder, aber sonst wäre nicht angedacht, oder?
Nee,
Nee. Ja. Also man kann, aber es hat, ja, also, ich finde es eigentlich nicht so schlecht, aber ja, der Heinz wollte nicht, aber. Und wann wollen wir das Trinken und so stellen, oder während dem Anlass, oder?
Die Caterer, die werden das in diesem separaten Raum.
Ah, das kommt nicht mit Bar dorthin. Ah, das kommt separat.
Doch, doch.
Ah, okay.
Kommt schon zur Bar.
Aha.
Wir wollen das in separaten, ich habe gesagt, wir sollen das in einen separaten Raum rücken,
Aha.
damit hier nicht.
Dass
Ja,
man es nicht hört, ja, ja, das ist gut, ja.
ich denke dann, sobald wir fertig sind, geht's.
Okay, ja, ja, genau. Ja, ja. Mhm. Also soll ich während dem Event schnell helfen? Oder mit dem Auftischen und so?
Nein.
Sicher, oder?
Ja, die kommen wohl mit voller Mann-Frau-Stärke.
Okay.
Ich habe zwei Kollegen da.
Okay, dann das soll das passen. Okay, das ist gut.
Du bist 34 Jahre.
Okay, das ist gut. Super. Ja, genau. Und da wieder irgendwie hast du ein Messer zum Draufziehen.
Einer das, ja.
Vielleicht kannst du nicht. Sind welche? Jetzt? Bist du schon raus? Ist noch nicht. Also muss halt schon bleiben. Und dann machen wir halt nicht. Also nochmal. Also, eins, super, ja. Jetzt gut. Irgendwie kaputt gegangen. Okay. Ja. Aber für den Rest technisch ist alles installiert. Bisschen. Halb, ja. Ein bisschen. Ja. Ganz vorsichtig. Ah, nee. Nicht. Und wenn ich so mache, oder ich will. Was für Reis von Manchester? Kannst du für mich nicht gut? Nein. Ja, zu viel Druck drauf, weißt du? Gut, dann vielleicht noch ein Bild switchen. Kannst du einmal drumherum. Jetzt das noch. Guck mal. Kann man das runterfahren? Ja, ja. Das tut man das so drauf. Vielleicht mein Vorschlag wäre, dass wir so ein bisschen, ich habe ein Doppelklebeband. Etwas da. Wenn du mir sagst, wo es drauf sitzt, dann weiß ich, wie ich es nicht kaputt, sonst machen wir es kaputt. Du machst ja fest. Dann nur so und das. So, weißt du, so an der, so ein Doppelklebeband machen. Und dann sagst du, kommt es hier drauf, oder? Also es gerade umgeht. Einfach mal fest, wo man das Doppelklebeband. Mehr, weniger, mehr als. Ja, ja. Ja, ja, das ist okay. Gut, ist nicht so, ist speziell da, ja. Also, ich denke, das ist Rage, also, ich meine, es ist Rage, aber, ja. Aber eben, zum Glück ist es nicht der Haupt, aber der Hauptschweizer und allein, also, ja, 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 wäre ich okay, ja.
Genau, aber
Ja, wäre ich okay dran, Kevin, ja. Schon so, wo sogar Roches. Das Ding kennt noch, jetzt Patrick Steller. Ja, ja, alles gut. Nee, ich habe ein Glück gehabt, aber ja, mal Blut geschlissen. Ja. Ich habe gedacht, weißt du, nicht, das Wetter ist schlecht, auch ein bisschen Angst, dass wenn ich mitkomme. Ja, bei schlechtes Wetter kann man meistens nicht.
okay.
Das nicht geschaffen.
Anmeldung habt ihr?
Ich habe es über 100, aber ich mal bei diesem Wetter kann ich es 50 oder so. Ja, ich kann mir vorstellen, dass die Hälfte nicht kommt. Wie viel hast du gespielt jetzt?
Für 90.
Ja, vielleicht nehmen wir noch 10 weg, dann ist es voll, oder? Dann können wir immer noch wieder drauf tun. Ich kann die mehr sein, aber ich glaube nicht.
Man hat sie weiter. Ich glaube, das kannst du einfach mal runterlassen. Und du auf die Leiste anbringen.
Ah, aber dann.
Das heißt,
Okay,
genau.
so. Denke.
Anti-Donald.
Nee, ik kan nog voor doen. Zo moet je nog. Ah, zie.
Aber das ist so gut.
Weiß nicht. Das ist einfach nur hier auf der Seite.
Los.
Ja.
Ja. Jetzt, während wir da, während dem Anlass.
Was nicht wüsst, dann. Ja, das ich weiß, merkt nicht, dass
Nein, super, das ist weg. Ready. Not name tag. Wie ist hier?
Also, so gesagt, ja.
Sechsen?
Ja.
Ah, okay, das ist von mir. Also nicht ist.
Also nicht der Max, sondern der Paul, oder?
Sie ist sechs.
Also,
Ja,
7, aber ich lade nur.
Okay.
Okay,
Das sind zwei, das hast du, oder?
Ist gut. Und nächstes Jahr haben wir nicht,
Für,
dass die Übung noch ein höher sitzen.
ja, könnte schon, aber nicht auch das Problem zu bringen.
Ja,
Die sind noch, also,
ich sehe es aber innen.
kannst du schnell hinhocken, wenn du jetzt so hockst. Siehst du
Das
das?
ist nicht.
Siehst du nicht?
euch quasi.
Ja.
So, dann kommst du noch ab. Das ist nicht.
Wir haben eben Bar auch.
Sonst machen wir Barhocken.
Ja.
Habt ihr sechs?
Ja.
Habt ihr? Dann gehen wir schnell, wenn ich schnell alle.
Ja.
Ist doch nicht mal.
Das nächste ist auch gut.
Okay, ja.
Das ist einfach hier stehen von euch. Andere. Die, der kommt da.
Schon ready? Ist gut. Sind wir schon ready? Ist der weg?
Das Videogerät ist auch.
Und der Rich Achtungs, glaube ich, schon da.
Ja.
Ja. Also, Nur die Schweiz in einem Speaker oder das. Das ist mir noch nie passiert, ja. Ja, ja.
Aber witzig, ich habe heute Morgen das Propulsion 2 du CEO, sein Vater ist gestorben, besucht Ersatz. Es gab blockiert, oder?
Ach so.
Aber ich habe dann, das ist ja nicht der CEO, das weißt du, ich habe blockiert.
Danke, aber ja, das ist leider. Aber gut.
Ja gut, das
machen
ist
wir mal
weißt du, was
Ja.
das besser wird.
Ja. Doch sehr
Das ist globale Entscheidung und dann hast du es nicht gezogen. Du weißt ja, man schauen wir nicht, ja nicht.
Ja, das ist schon das.
Ja.
Global sind wir dann also kaum global keine Sponsoren mit allen Bereichen haben. Wir schauen nicht Frage schon durch.
Okay.
Wir sind jetzt aber jetzt halt nicht zu deinem Geld. Das ist schon weit.
Ja. Also Spannung.
Schon sehr speziell, weil Spannung.
Nicht so, das auch zwei.
Ich glaube, auswärts zwei. Ja, ich weiß nicht, so früh. Ja,
Böse ist dieses Licht.
ja, das muss ich dann nicht mehr ausschalten. Können die das? Kann ich das ausschalten? Am Ende ist es ein Problem wegen dem Online. Ach doch, nein, dann können wir einfach das ausschalten. Dann haben sie nur
Also
abschalten einfach die Kamera. Also können wir das kurz schnell testen, wie das geht?
Ausschalten.
Ja, aber da muss ich schnell rein, dass wir sehen, was du dann nicht mehr rein kann.
Der war wichtig, du hast immer 10 Griff.
Ja, am Anfang sehr, ja. Geht's.
Du hast nie gegangen,
Wir haben auch mit dem Head Group Talent für Zürich.
Okay.
So ein Meeting da und den Knurri, ja, oh. Aber Knurri ist der Chief News Source von Toronto.
Ihr seht, seid total relaxed.
Ja, ich mag die mal fix hier.
Ja. Also, hey, so spannend gemacht.
Was so schlimm ist, ist keine Ahnung.
Ja.
Bevor da jetzt etwas Technisches diskutieren kann.
Nee, das kann man erzählen, schon eingestellt machen, aber es ist schon nicht geil. Denn wenn ich denke, so denken wir, das stört mich halt schon. Hello, madam. Can you please join the Zoom link? And we would like to show you something. We would like to test if we stop the beamer, if you still see the people, the panels, or if not. How we can do it. Because as you know, like we always have the problem with the beamer that it shines on people. Then it's bothering them. So that maybe we can stop it. Let's try. If it doesn't work, then it's how we do it. No blocking right now.
Du bist von? Du bist von wo?
Das ist Schwarzweg, nicht so.
Also, jetzt schon gehört.
Samba, ich habe eine eigene Firma.
Ja.
Eine Recruiter und eine Managementfirma. Und ich sage mal 2 Jahre jetzt nicht und leite das man nicht schon hat.
Okay.
Und dann
Ja, ich gebe dir gerne kurz einen Einstieg. Wenn wir jetzt durch sind, kommst du es auch
Also, ich gehe jetzt schnell rein, warte noch einen Punkt. Kann ich eine Tour machen?
Wir sind hier so seit 5 Jahren, bis jetzt das 6. Wir kommen prominente Nachbarn.
Wer?
Der Schmoll. Schmoll hat ja ein großes Auto und Luxusautos und hier haben sie dann ihren Aston Martin. Jedenfalls.
Schwul. Wer ist
Wo
das?
sind die Frauen aus,
Wir machen alles so.
Hello.
Wirklich.
One second, hang on, let's try quickly. Okay, now we stop, huh? Venus, what do you see?
I see you all, you three.
Aber jetzt ist auch das Problem. So, der Ton, ne? You don't hear us very well?
Ja, genau, jetzt haben wir
I-
den Ton ausgeschaltet.
Kannst du nicht nur
I hear you, I hear.
Das ist komplett an. So, you don't hear us, or? Hello?
I hear you,
Could you hear us?
I
Yeah.
hear you, but I don't know if you can hear me.
We could not hear you, but it's not important to hear you, but it's important that you hear us.
Maybe, is that Heinz or who is it?
Yeah, it's Heinz and
Yeah, it's me.
Maybe
Hi,
you
hi.
both,
How are you
hi,
doing?
maybe you both can talk as well. I hear Mark very clearly.
okay, let's test
Yes, yes. So, Mark is here. Heinz is here. We have a
Mario.
vlog party.
Can you hear us?
Mario, can you speak as well?
You can see us. Now the
Yes.
game is
Hi,
on.
hi. Hello.
Yeah, yeah, it's very clear. I can hear all three of you.
And do you see them also?
Yes, I see them,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, and now maybe put it on again.
Off.
Or
Okay.
on.
Now it's still the
Now
same.
it's off. Okay, and now? Test.
How about now?
I hear you all. I can see both of you because Mark is out of the frame.
Yes, he's walking around, you
That's
know.
okay.
He does some fitness, some training, you know. Because he keeps slim for you.
Nice. You hear
But
us?
Mark, what happened to now the speaker tracking? Huh? You need to again maybe activate it if you want.
Yeah, maybe now. Is it working now?
No.
No, it stopped. Okay.
Yeah, because now it's stable. I think, but for
For the panel, it's okay, but let's see. I do it speaker.
now I see the audience.
Okay, so now speaker tracking now. Is it working? Is it following? Hello.
I can see only the audience, Mark. It's beautiful, but I can see only the audience. Empty benches. But looks very nice. You need to press on the speaker button, Mark, and
No,
then
no.
the
Hello.
tracking.
Hello, test. No.
You need to press on 360 link.
Sonst bin ich spät, ist der Background eigentlich nicht. Das bin ich. Warum was dann schnell und so und wir beide sind in Rochester, der Heimung ist in Amerika, der ist klein. Da muss es für uns gut, weil wir hier Events gemacht haben. Das ist die 20 Uhr gut. Natürlich. Das ist so eine Base von diesen Sektion 300 von der Schweiz und so eine in Zürich. Und 10%.
Strange, it's now again not working.
Maybe put off the camera and put it on again. Again, restart the 360 link.
Schon noch, das kommt sonst.
Ganz anders.
Hello.
Und was ist?
Can you share? Yeah, now can you share the link, please? Can you share your screen?
So, erstens ist live in
What do you want?
Das zweite ist ein Netzwerk.
Please share your screen that I can see what you are speaking.
What I am what?
Netzwerk.
Netzwerk.
Please share the Zoom screen that I can see what you are clicking.
Ja.
Aber es ist jetzt, wenn du weißt, wenn du noch hier stehst, oder? Mich haben jetzt trotzdem 15, 20 Leute kontaktiert wegen diesem Webchat vorher.
Ja.
Sicher noch so viele Koordinaten.
Ja.
Kennst du vielleicht schon? Oder kennst du dich?
Ja.
Ich würde sagen,
Now try it, try to track. Now it should work.
ich ist jetzt Echo oder HR.
Hello. Yeah, it's
Work
tracking.
again.
It's tracking. Okay.
Okay, bye.
I think it works, huh?
Yeah, it works. Good, all good.
Du bist der Boss über den Schalter.
Ja.
Du entscheidest dann, wann du anschreibst und wann aus. Very simple, oder? Also einfach so.
Wie machen wir es jetzt? Also, machst du Begrüßung, oder? So, und dann stellst du
Ich sage ganz kurz was, oder?
Also, du machst Begrüßung, sag mal, dann sagst du etwas über Bock. Und dann begrüße ich im Prinzip Max und also, ist das gut? Ja, ist gut.
Und den Kaffee.
Oh, das ist besser.
Jetzt wo alles in trockenen Tüchern ist, oder?
Ja, es ist hart in Bier. Schau. Oh mein Gott.
Manchmal, du ganz fokussiert sein. Dann ist es wirklich.
Wie kostet so eine Kabine?
10 Euro. Das Einzige, was ich ja, das ist alles, was ist. Vielleicht noch Vollplatz sein, wir brauchen meine Berufsarbeitsplatz. Ich glaube, gut, dass wir das schaffen. Connect, wo man kurz zusammenkommt und dann Corporate, also Workshop-Situationen, das alles ist unterschiedliche wo alles. Wenn wir jetzt aber niemand
glaube, das ist mein was. Ich muss eben einstellen, weißt du? Das ist noch nicht geschaltet. Doch, ich habe es eigentlich geschaltet. Ja. Ah, super. Funktioniert alles? Ja. Bitte. Thanks. Ja.
Ja, weil ich.
Okay.
Ja, es fällt so. jetzt die Stühle da.
Die ist dann gleich weg.
Genau. Und dann kann man. Vorne.
Ja.
Bis gleich. Wenn wir in der Mitte haben, weil dann oder deswegen ist es deutlich besser, wenn ich dann irgendwie
Ja. Okay. Dann nimmst du den.
Okay. Das war mir eigentlich das besser. Das ich will.
Ja, ich glaube, am einfachsten ist es, wenn du es hier hast. So. Das siehst du eigentlich gut. Also, weil dann musst du ihn nicht weit bewegen. Ne?
Okay, also du brauchst die Kamera sozusagen.
Das ist Marks Installation. So.
Okay,
Fancy.
aber vielleicht sollten wir gucken, wo das Ding hinguckt, weil er braucht ja, dass Sie mich hier sehen.
Okay. Mark, vielleicht.
Also, ja.
Also gut, ich würde gern einen Tisch haben, wo ich mein Laptop irgendwie habe.
Nein,
Yes. Oder irgendeinen anderen Tisch.
nein, aber Laptop sollten wir den haben, weil sonst wird es kompliziert.
Das ist okay. Ich
Okay.
will einfach nur mein
Ja,
eigenes Slide.
Das sicher, ja klar.
Ja, ja.
Dann machen wir hier, können wir gleich testen, oder? Dann würdest du hier, wo deine Slides, oder? Möchtest du jetzt sehen, oder?
Warte schnell, ich glaube, wir verstehen uns.
Mhm.
Was du mit deinem Laptop machst, ist mir wurscht. Und Hannah wird ja meine Präsentation
Genau.
sozusagen. Deswegen, das hat nichts damit zu tun. Ich brauche aber meine Speech Points sozusagen, will ich da vorne haben, meine Folien. Unabhängig von was in Virtual gezeigt wird und so weiter. Es hat nur mit mir zu tun, dass ich halt hier so vorne einen Tisch habe und ich sehe dann die Slides und muss nicht die ganze Zeit nach hinten gucken. Weißt
Aber du hast das Problem, weil du nicht steuerst, weißt du nicht, was da hingeht.
Also ich habe das ja schon mit Hannah ganz gut geübt.
Okay.
Und deswegen
Also
ist es
wir haben
mir
es
so
so
wichtig
gemacht,
gewesen.
es sind zwei, also wir haben es hier geschaut,
Super.
also du hast zwei Bildschirme, eine hier
Ja.
und der andere da, oder? Und dann kannst du einfach hier weitermachen, oder? Und dann parallel sehen sie dann auf dem anderen Bildschirm das.
Das, was da gezeigt
Also es
wird.
sind die zwei externe Bildschirme, das sind zwei Bildschirme, das ist Bildschirm 1, das Bildschirm 2. Bildschirm 2 wird von Hannah
Meine
gesteuert.
Frage ist, warum muss ich da eins nutzen? Also ich brauche da nichts.
Also-
Ich kann ja meins.
Dein Laptop. Kannst du auch, ja,
Also
das kannst du auch, ja, das ist auch.
Nix.
Ja. Da brauchen wir dann nochmal einen Tisch. Oder?
Ja.
Und meine einzige Frage war es, wo willst du, dass ich stehe? Weil du willst das ja recorden,
Ja,
richtig?
genau, ja.
Wo ist es besser? Ist es
Also-
besser, wenn ich hier stehe oder wenn ich da stehe?
Also für dich ist es besser hier, oder? Dann sehen dich die Leute mehr, oder? Weil dort bist du zu weit weg, aber du kannst auch, aber ich meine, die Kamera ist hier.
Die Kamera ist hier und der Mikrofon ist hier.
Ja, das würde ich dir empfehlen hier, weil dann bist du näher, oder? Aber
Aber ich bin halt immer so seitlich,
Ja,
das ist dir bewusst.
ja, also, ja, ist halt, ja, anders können wir es leider nicht machen, oder? Also,
Wie du willst.
ja.
Das ist ja.
Also, ich kann hier schauen,
Genau. Das
Ja,
wollte ich sagen.
das ist jetzt so sieht es aus. Da haben wir die Folge, oder?
Ein bisschen nach oben gerichtet. alles.
Paola, hörst du mich?
Ja, ich höre dich.
Soll ich mal meinen Bildschirm teilen?
Siehst du
Willst du
das?
mal sehen, wie es aussieht?
Ja, ich glaube, so ist es.
Dann kann man doch den Tisch bewegen, oder?
Ja,
Wenn ich so bin, dann sieht mich halt die Kamera immer so seitlich. Mir ist es wurscht. Und dann kann ich ja einen kleinen Tisch, Multisch, einfach hier vorne haben. Mit
Dann-
meinem Laptop und meine Sachen, damit ich nicht immer nach hinten. Sowohl eben die Kamera will ich den Gruppen geben, sowie auch die Leute, das ist nicht gut.
Wir haben einfach
Deswegen
keinen
wollte ich-
zweiten Tisch.
okay, so sehe ich halt meinen Laptop für eine kurze Zeit auf meinen Schoß. Oder?
Aber da.
Ja, ist etwas,
Ach,
ja, es könnte knapp werden mit dem Kabel.
Kann man es auf den Stuhl?
Eben, ich nehme sonst auf den
Warte, ich kann nochmal, guck mal. Ich
Geht,
kann noch mal.
es geht schon. Ich glaube, hier passt. Schau, es geht. Es geht. Ganz so. Geht schon. Ja,
Brauchst du das?
ja. braucht
Fancy
alles.
Kamera, fancy.
Ja,
Fancy Kamera.
ja, es ist eben eine, die sich bewegt. Oder wenn,
Ja, ja.
wenn du dich bewegst, folgt
Nicht
sie.
plötzlich.
Ja.
So.
Du wolltest zeigen, Hannah?
Ja, ich teile auch, aber man sieht es nicht gerade auf der Leinwand. Ich glaube, da müsste Marc-André noch irgendwas einstellen, dass man es hinter dir sieht.
Das. Ah, weil ich brauche das Edge-Spielzeug. Das stört aber den Max wahrscheinlich nicht, oder? Dann kann er hier auch der Erste, weil Bruno nicht kommt.
Ach so, ja, okay.
Ja,
Ja,
der kann auch seine Notizen sozusagen hier im Pult haben.
ja, schnell fragen. Also, das nehme ich ihn weg und dann ist es
Ich
bewegt.
finde es eigentlich noch besser, dann kann er Wasser, weißt du, dann kann er Wasser trinken.
Mhm.
Also,
Ja,
das
mal
eigentlich
lieber.
nicht
Ja.
der redet ja auch halbe Stunde.
Also, jetzt sieht man dich. Sieht man die Präsentation, oder? Jetzt Paula,
Ja.
kannst du da hinstellen, oder? Dann siehst du, ob das Bild okay ist. Wenn jetzt die spricht, oder?
Ja, hörst du mich, Hannah?
Ja, ich höre dich.
Und ist das Bild gut?
Ja, man sieht halt ein bisschen den Banner. Der ist ein
Bitte?
bisschen in das Bild rein. Der Banner, der neben dir steht von der
Banner
Veranstaltung.
ist ein bisschen ins Bild. Ah, so
Ja.
in der Folie.
Ja.
Kannst du so besser? Ah,
Ja.
so.
So, und so sieht man das Logo auch noch. Das ist gut.
Jetzt sieht man den Banner und die Folie.
So, super.
Klingt das schon ein bisschen.
Ja.
Weißt du, wenn ich
Warte.
immer hier rede, sieht das okay aus für dein, es ist ja dein Recording hinterher. Bist du damit glücklich?
Ja, weil, also ich kann noch ein wenig, oder? Aber viel mehr weiter kann ich nicht.
So ist gut. So ist sehr gut.
So ist gut?
Ja.
Ich versuche auch mich so vielleicht so zu drehen, dann ist es Hälfte.
Ja, okay. Aber
Okay.
kannst du noch, oder jetzt Bildschirm teilen, oder irgendwie ist nicht ganz perfekt? Macht der Fullscreen?
Also, ich gehe mal um die Ecke. Danke dir. Wie ist dein Name?
Martin?
Marc.
Ja, genau.
Danke.
Also jetzt, ja, jetzt ist, glaube ich, perfekt.
Perfekt. Ja. Dankeschön. Cool. Danke.
Ja, und jetzt ist es gut, oder? Was müsste man noch ändern, oder?
Nee, so ist perfekt. So hat alles gepasst.
Sieht man alle.
Ja, aber man sieht dein Banner jetzt nicht mehr, das links von der. Ja, so, jetzt ist das Logo
Okay.
auch wieder drin.
So, aber sieht man auch alle
Im
Panelisten
Panel,
sollten
ja.
dann alle. Ja, jetzt ist
Mhm.
es gut.
So ist,
Ich glaube,
glaube ich,
so
gut.
ist.
So ist gut. Ja. Dann sieht man bis zum schwarzen Stuhl und man sieht das Banner auch noch.
So. Ich glaube, so.
So, ja. Aber vielleicht dann das Banner noch ein bisschen, ja, drehen, genau. Das vom Fenster steht.
Das ist gut.
Ja, man sieht und hört alle.
Wenn Heinz wäre hier so der Moderator, das ist ja nicht schlecht. Ich glaube, so sind wir alle. Ja? Hast du eventuell noch ein Foto von Carola? Also nur wenn du willst, das ist kein Zwang, oder?
Ich weiß gerade gar nicht, wo ich das einstellen kann, also wo ich ein Bild von ihr hinterlegen kann. Ich glaube, das wird jetzt zu
Okay.
kompliziert, bis ich das
Wenn du willst,
rausgefunden
kann
habe.
man zeigen, aber wir müssen das einfach. Also, es wäre einfach, du müsstest einfach bei Paul, also bei dir, kannst du auf Partys gehen.
Warte, ich
Und
zeig
dann
mal
dort,
ganz kurz. Also hier bei Paola und dann.
oder gehst du dann auf Teilnehmer oder Teilnehmer und da, oder ja, genau dort. Und dann umsetzen, oder überhaupt.
Ich habe hier nur umbenennen, aber ich habe sie ja schon umbenannt.
Nein, dann ist nur der Name, erst kann man das sagen. Ja. Du müsstest ja oben, du müsstest, glaube ich, den Account irgendwie ändern. Kannst du bei Teilnehmer gehen? Teilnehmer?
Wo ist das? Unten?
Unten.
Teilnehmer.
Jetzt zu dir, Paul, dort. Kannst du dort näher? Und da, ich glaube, dort, nein, kannst du auch nicht.
Mhm.
Oder dort, ja, nicht dort, kannst du dort sein. Genau.
Mhm.
Muss man schauen, aber ja, ich meine, es ist egal. Also ich meine, ja.
Ich glaube, dadurch, dass sie ja vor allen steht, ist es in Ordnung. Also sie sehen sie
Ja,
ja
ja,
alle.
passt schon. Ich glaube, ich sind gut. Perfekt, sonst von dir noch etwas? Oder ist es
Nee, super, vielen lieben Dank.
ja, sehr
Ich habe mich
gerne.
wieder schon.
Alles geklappt, das ist perfekt.
Ja,
Ja. Hallo, hè? En met dat, hè? Ja, ik heb het ook goed, hè? Sorry. Dat is wel schön.
Es ist schon also, if I have that, it's Als Hauptmittel, weil es hier schon
Ja, ook als die hier, het noemenblad, dan staat op z'n allemaal. Wat cool is, een t-shirt, heel op is.
Simon Fisch, was in Zweitsachen
Ja,
sind. Hilft
hilft
mir auch.
Hilft
Hilft
Hij is
mir
wel
auch.
echt,
Ich habe auch
hij is wel echt, aber ich nehme da noch, aber das war das, ja, die Schulfälschung oder so.
Programm ben ich aufgeführt.
Okay, ja, machen wir. Ja. Gut, machen wir das. Jetzt, ja, aber die sind ja auch dran. Also, die Wände, ist das die Präsentation? Max, hast du da noch hinein?
Und sonst,
Okay, bist du da?
nein, ist nicht die Frage, ist da zu viel. Das hat auch bei denen so extra und 5 hier, wie hat es auch.
Du bist schon schnell was. Alles, was du jetzt in der Aussage, das ist du kannst lesen.
Ablauf herstellen. Eventuell van het Staats B.
Ja, super.
Is dat
Ja, mach ich schnell an. Hast du Can you send me the version of the intro micro presentation? He said like split net, some of the wordings, graphics. Can you send it on WhatsApp? Is everything okay? Then you see the.
Just curious if there's a toilet on the premises.
Yes.
So,
It's, but I also it's for second time here, so I don't know it.
okay.
So machst du das PDF, oder wie? Yes. So komisch, das ist passiert.
IFS, ja. Financial services.
Das machst du.
Nein, das haben wir Kollegen. Alles ist noch bei mir. Jetzt müsste ich schon mal.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I
Hello.
thought you,
Hi,
hi, I'm
nice to meet you
Rebecca.
in person.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
I completely didn't recognize you in real life.
That's him.
Oh, wow, okay, well, I'll let you, I don't want to distract you. I'm just there to hang out.
That's upset all. That's over here.
Also ich kann hier gerne überlegen, Grenzen
Das hat die gleiche Eingabe da.
Genau, das kann man machen. Okay, dann machen wir schon da.
Das ist Screen Mirroring.
Ist doch So, und dann habe ich schon gesehen, hast du gesehen,
Until it starts.
Usually my wife is here.
Okay. You can already pick a chair. I'm only doing a small. Okay, I'll put, for half an hour. That would not be an issue for you. Should have please. Action completely screen. Actions have completely screen.
Yeah, you are. Okay. Yes. No worries.
Hi, Mark.
What are you doing? Yeah, nice. How about that next year?
Yeah, I think also countries implementing automatically solve marriage in 7 years. And then if you want to continue, then you can continue, but otherwise it will like never happen. I think it was like a wild idea of Germany, that was like 50 years or something. I will let you know. Because I want to. So.
Ja, ja, die Hälfte stimmt nicht mehr. Okay, wir versuchen eine andere. Wir haben eine Lösung gefunden. Wir haben noch Oldschool Adressetiketten, die blank sind. Jetzt sagt jeder, kann jeder sagen, was er will. Genau, König. Oder?
Sorry?
Merkt man. Ich bin fast von dem Ding erschlagen worden. Ja, ja, kein Problem.
Jetzt ist alles gut.
Hey, mal alles kaputt gemacht.
Ja,
Aha, ist jetzt Gesicht.
Aber das
Kann ich dir helfen? Ja. Hier. Ganze Technik zerstören.
Silence.
We offer fantastic networking opportunities through high-quality on-site and online events, conferences with top-notch speakers, educational content on sustainability, digitalization, entrepreneurship, education, diversity and inclusion, finance, and investment opportunities. Are you an entrepreneur with a groundbreaking idea? Connect with our investment club. We offer much more than just money. For all MBA alumni and students from Switzerland, join our growing community of international business leaders and start growing your network. Check out www.withmba.com today. Swiss Association of MBAs, empowering international leaders.
So thank you everyone for coming. So I'm Martin Witt, President of the Swiss Association of MBAs. Unfortunately, today we had some changes in the program. So there was a sad story today. Unfortunately, the father of the CEO of Whitecroft has passed away last night. Yeah, maybe we can
or 1 minute within that. Everyone, but there is at least a good story that we have found a replacement, and thanks a lot. Max Eckenberger will replace him, and he's very senior expert in business development manager. So we're very lucky that we could find such a great replacement. So we're very happy and have you all here, and especially also with this bad weather, we fear that the room will be empty, so that's good. It's full, as always. So, and as you see, why we're doing this event, it's because we want to help you to grow your career. That's why we thought, okay, we need to not just do events about digitalization, sustainability, there needs to be an HR leaders conference, and it's so council needs. We had this HR leads for the first time. It's like it's a success, and we could double or triple our member base to 5,000. And these are our university partners, company partners, and yeah, I would like to thank also Flock, but we come later, hosting us this, and Wipro and Hayes for sponsoring this event. These are just some figures. As you can see, we're doing on average 2 to 3 events per month, or even more, 5 big conferences, always with top C-levels. People can join also remote. We have our own virtual event space, and these are just some clips. If you can check on the website, it would be great if you can join. Next one, bigger one, is the Digital Leaders in May. And then in the Romandy, there's also an event, Tech Summit with PwC, then the CMO Summit with Accenture sponsoring, and then Sustainable Leaders with Deloitte. So we have all the companies, investment leaders, shoulders, and you see quite good lineup already for the digital leaders and the other ones. Yeah, and I already mentioned Heinz, he's not alone, so there's a big council, so also I tripled the member base, so a really strong team behind, and thanks a lot for the great help. And for those who are not yet a premium member, these are the benefits. I hope you will sign up, so you can join always free of charge of all our events. You can see them recorded. We have special benefits for cars, quite good ones, and others. And it would be great if you could also follow us and subscribe our calendar. So then you have all our events in your Google calendar. So you just have to go on our website, and then click on the icon, log in, then go to directories, and you can click on the drop-down menu profile, add Swiss calendar, and then you get an email, and then you can just click on this link, and then you can add it on the calendar. That's quite easy, and don't forget any events. It's just having the calendar, you don't pay or anything, it's just that you don't forget it. And it would be great if you can also follow us on our social media channels. LinkedIn and others, we are not so strong, so it would be great if you can also follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, if you want, of course. So, what's important is that you fill out this one. It's a survey, so that we can events tailored to your needs. So that will be much appreciated if you can scan it and give feedback. Yeah, maybe because if I don't do it, then we will not do it. But most time we have only 1 or 2 feedbacks, and that's that.
So,
At the end, yeah, that's true. So because
Yeah. The success.
for those who know event success of one for the first time. Okay, so yeah, and I would like to thank the Vox for hosting us. So it's I think yeah, the offices, all the chairs are from them, so like they're super comfortable and very nice design. So maybe you wanna words for what you're doing.
Yes, hello, good evening. So my name is Mario. You are here at Flock. Flock is actually a Norwegian word. It means group. So we are a group of 8 brands. One brand, Swiss brand, we make in Norway. It's the Chariflex brand. Then we are a group of factories. We produce in Europe. So we have Scandinavian roots that we produce in Norway and Sweden, UK, and Poland. And yeah, we are the #1 in Europe when it comes to saving solutions in the business environment. So if you can see here many settings, which we actually find now in the office environment. It's like for individual work, for collaboration work, or also just to connect, to have a coffee with each other. So I will invite you to take this opportunity and sit wherever you want, go around, explore. This is what we like. Our core is in Scandinavia, as I said, and what is special is our roots in sustainability and in ergonomy. So hopefully you will feel it when you sit on those chairs. And if you have questions, watching around this, anything, I have 2 gentlemen here who will help you. All in black. So Nuccio, raise your hand. He speaks German and Italian and French, and Oli speaks German and English. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask him. And if you like this place, then you are happy to have your event or something here. You have found everybody of you a flyer. So we love to use our place and share our place with other people. Sometimes you want to do a breakout with your team, and sometimes you don't want to do it in your office, but then all these event hotels are so expensive and so far away. So try it out. We have different settings, small groups, workshop settings, so maybe you like it. And all the details are in the flyer, so feel free. And then I invite you to have a nice evening and enjoy.
Yes, it's a pleasure. It's the first time for me as well here. So, here. So my name is Heinz. As I wanted to over the career leadership council 2 years ago, and the first meeting was what we call chief. And we set 3 goals. One was lifelong learning. So we want to give on our topics also impact, skills, so that you get out at least with one new topic today. The second one is networking. It's all about connecting. We have a lot of online events. It's the second big event. So I'm happy we have, I think, around 80 people here. We have 90 chairs, so coffee. So it should be around 80. They are here today. So if you need at least 10, then I made the second goal. The third one is somewhere doing business. And these events, these talks we are doing, we have quite a lot of people in the council, reminds you that if you somewhere have a topic in HR, go to the Samba website, call any one of us, and you will find a solution. And myself, I'm coming from banking, digitalization, recruiting. Now I'm in change management, supporting companies from holistic way, from strategy, capitalization. And I think change is what we have today. I mean, on Monday we had a call to set up this event. Everything looks pretty good. This morning we got the information that the group was working, which is sad what happened. We already did our number of but we should talk about more here. And I'm really glad Vibro found the solution very fast. And it's for me not a replacement, it's just another view on the engine. Because Max said, I have no clue about nature. No, I'm a businessman, I know Vibro technology, but I have no clue about nature. But I think 70 or 80% of people here are HR. And I think Bruno Max is stepping out with much more information about nature. So very welcome you. I think you can say some words about yourself. I'm glad you're here. And you're doing a presentation. AI in a big corporation business.
So, this reason, however, I am so pleased here as an alumni of Rochester World and a member, premium member of Samba. I like these events. Yeah, it's a privilege to be on this side now. So let me start. About Wipro, you mentioned how big we are. We are an Indian-based IT service and business process operation partner to large clients across the world. Some 230,000 employees. So we do have some experience in HR because we're in this business. Right? Today, I don't want to talk about what we do for and with our clients, with our HR services practice. I rather mention a couple of themes that are relevant also in HR, and then mention one example how we use technology, including AI, for our own internal purpose. So who of you is familiar with the C64, maybe has used it for gaming or programmed in BASIC? It tells a bit about our generation. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Or even the IBM PC, which was introduced just a year earlier. And when that happened, there was a lot of notions about how these technologies would disrupt, would revolutionize, would also make jobs redundant. And let's see what happened. Undoubtedly, technology changed a lot of aspects of our lives, right? Personal, business, and in many ways so. And if we look ahead, I would say future with combining technology and human potential capabilities is not less exciting. So, a few okay. Yeah, sure. And I should still be able to get it. Good. A few achievements or developments over the last 10 or so years. An example is the availability of network. 5G allows us to work from any place, anytime, across multiple devices and applications, which also led to the possibility to work remotely, with all the pros and cons and uncertainties that brings with it. Another one is cybersecurity, is biometrics, which allows us to have secure access in a seamless way across, again, multiple services, wherever we want to use them. Or you take augmented or virtual reality, which is heavily used by now. It became commodity in training, in entertainment, but also, for example, in remote interventions, maintenance, even surgeries, some of the key developments. As a summary, you can also say all these technologies have not reduced the jobs, but they actually led to new jobs and overall more people that are employed today than were before we invented all these technologies. If we try to look a bit ahead, what key themes might be ahead of us? And you would expect any presentation, any speech these days has to include AI. No? So if you sell a service, if you sell a product these days, you cannot do it without AI enabled or powered logo on it. So clearly we see a lot coming from AI. It would be hyper-personalized AI. If you attend maybe tomorrow Microsoft's event, anyone? They call it, yeah, I mean, it's oversubscribed. They call it the AI World Tour. It's as bold as they, currently push the topic. And what we see coming is take AI agents, which will really change the way we do our jobs as individuals. They will help us make decisions. We'll also see agents that will be deployed in organizations across the board, and they will take on tasks that are unstructured, non-repetitive, and they will do those fully autonomously. So AI certainly will play a major role here, which also, of course, leads to some question marks. For example, you see the last point here. So AI-driven emotional recognition. Shall I say it's almost a bit creepy? I mean, I recently observed Teams, and it actually read my gestures, and it all of a sudden had some thumbs ups or balloons, or once there was a thumb up down. And I said, hey, this wasn't me, I didn't mean it. So things will happen, will be possible, which I think also from an HR perspective, we have to observe what's going on here. Do we still leave the privacy, the autonomy with the user? Or is technology doing some fancy stuff we don't really have full control anymore? I will briefly mention also the EU AI Act, which was only introduced 2 weeks ago, I guess. And that puts us also in a responsibility to actually deploy the tools in a meaningful and well-governed way. Thank you. So how will some of these technologies also touch you in your HR functions? And certainly not something new that I can say technology or digital journeys are part of the overall employee lifecycle, from the recruiting until retirement or outplacement, whatever it will be at the end of a stint. And people today expect a very seamless experience across that journey. And they also expect that we as employer treat all their data in a very responsible and confidential way. That means as an HR professional, your job is not getting easier. I guess it's rather enhanced in the way that you also need to understand the technology that are used, that you deploy with your employees, but already with your candidates. If you do maybe automated interviews, if you do automated CV checks, how about biases that could play a role here, etc. If we go one slide ahead, we have one example how we use AI within Wipro. So you can imagine these 230,000 employees. It's quite a challenge to manage that workforce in a way that we have the right skills and experience for the jobs we have with our clients. So continuous development, learning is key here. Also, the knowledge about where the talents are, when they will be available, super key to deploy them in a meaningful way. And for us as an employee, I want to manage my career so that I'm not just number 230,001, but I'm max. So I have my CV there. I have my career aspirations in the tool. I get some follow on, I get some recommendations. Now I don't hide this. I recently logged in and there was this job recommendation, Heike, in Switzerland. It was my job. So I thought, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why is my job now recommended to me? So I could check with HR if there's a secret search going on. So also these systems, again, we need to have a look on it. So, yeah, this next one. So, career path, aspirations, it gives me learning suggestions and opportunities as well. And for the company, of course, we have an integrated track record so that we can really find the best talent for any given job or project. We have a fairly high adoption rate, about 85% or so are using it, have an updated profile, and it's also being used by the project leads if they need to staff a new project, right? I'm a seller, so if I sell something, a service, we don't necessarily have people waiting for that. So we first have to identify internal talents. If we find them great, if they are available, even better. In many cases, we don't have them ready, so we have to rotate and acquire new talents from the market. That tool is also helpful. Good. I'm about to wrap it up here. It's definitely a journey. There's a lot of opportunities ahead of us. I think, as you know, a technology guy, an engineer by education, there will be so much coming, which always are opportunities. They might pose a risk in some other areas. So complexity will increase. We will have to continuously learn and adopt these tools. There's no way around. And so for you, a big challenge in HR. And let me close with that slide. Even 82-ish, you know, a lot of news around what might be the end of this technology revolution. Again, we have more jobs than ever, and I'm sure we'll have even more jobs after implementing AI to the fullest. It will be new jobs, new opportunities for us, and also a lot of new responsibilities to actually manage it in a meaningful and reliable way with our employees. With that, thank you for your attention and open for questions afterwards. And that, yeah. By somebody wrong, that's so come to Paolo, you know, also trade change management. You just meets ahead of the branches that we have to do. Oh, so we're still fighting. It's not discussed to the end, but first of all, glad you're here, Paolo.
I mean, she's responsible for DACH and Nordics, right place to be. And I'm looking forward to what its results is in HR.
Happy to be here, happy to be presenting in front of you, hopefully not quite new topic, and bring a lot of value to you today. So, a little bit of myself. Yes, Heinz told you Hayes and head of enterprise and 4 countries, but who's Paola actually? So, I'm quite international, so I'm coming from Venezuela. Have been living in Switzerland since 22 years, so that's why I already had the Swiss pass already. So Venezuelan, Swiss, half Italian as well, and having family all over the world as well because of the political situation of Venezuela. So that's why we're all over. So internationality is really important for me. Having actually arrived in Switzerland to stay 2 years, I'm still here, so I love it. Have a daughter. I studied at the University of St. Gallen and has been working for Hayes for over 13 years. And today, I want to talk to you about predictive hiring. I don't want this to be a one-way street. I need to have your hands free and your phones out, not to read texts or emails or answer emails, please, but to actually communicate with me and give me your opinion on some questions that I will be asking for you. So let's start with one question. Let's test this out if it's working, right? So I would like to know who of you would like to take a small glimpse into the future and know who's going to be winning the World Championship in 2026. Raise your hands. Come on, I'm pretty sure a lot more people would like to know who's gonna win. All right, because you can use that, right? So you can gain money also out of that. So yes, it would be nice to look into the future. And I would like to also understand from you, who do you think is going to be winning the World Cup in 2026? So please use your phones, Androids, iPhones. Really looking forward to this.
What is Mexico, sorry?
We need to go with a short list, not the long list this time. I am really looking forward to this. All right, so let's take a look at this. All right, Spain. I didn't expect that. All right, cool. Spain, Germany, Switzerland. And then there we go. So I think Spain won our forecast. Why am I saying this? So what is the trainer of Spain doing right now? What are the managers of the team doing right now? They're actually taking a look at the players, their skills, their capabilities, taking a look at what's the gap. What is it that I need to achieve to be able to win the World Championship in 2026? And this is in easy words what I can say about predictive hiring. So it is all about ensuring that your organization has the right people, so the right players, with the right skill sets at the right time, and that you know which is the performance that they are going to be giving to you, which are the results. This is predictive hiring. And Why are we talking about this today? And when we're saying it sounds pretty easy, right? Yeah, well, right time, right skills, why not, right? Maybe the performance part is a little bit more complicated one, but it's not just about that, right? So you have a lot of external impacts that you have to also take into consideration when you're going and doing predictive hiring. So you have a lot of business challenges, right? So the market is changing almost every year, if not every quarter now. So your business is having a lot of challenges and you need to be adapting this when you're doing your predictive hiring. We have in Switzerland a demographic issue that our workforce is 38% of our workforce is older than 50. So we will have a skill gap. We have it already, right? And we will be having this in the future as well. So you have to take that in consideration as well. How do you deal with that? We have influences of AI, as Max was speaking about right now. What is it that I have to do? What is it that I have to adapt, right? So we're not saying we're going to have less positions, not at all, but we're saying that the skills may change. So this needs to also be a part of your analysis. The employee demands, right? So they want more salary, but wait, the market situation is really hard. So how is that coming along? But also well-being is really important for the new generations, mental health and so on, right? So this is also really important to take in consideration, as well as skill shortage. I said that, okay? Let's pause there. I know we have 3% of unemployment. Sure, yes, we do have a lot of talent out there. Sure, when you go into the RAF, the probability that you find the right talent that you're looking for with the skills that you're needing in that specific moment are not exactly that high. So the problem is not about we don't have the people, it's that we have a mismatch into the capabilities of the skills that we have today. And so, what would be the benefit for you as a candidate if you would be applying into an organization that has already predictive hiring? I will give you some of the benefits, and it would be great to hear out that you vote on which is the benefit that you think, if you would be a candidate or if you're a candidate right now, will be the best for you. So let's imagine a scenario. You're applying into a company. The company is looking for a, let's put it easy, junior project manager. The company is telling you, okay, listen, the opportunities that you have, this is going to be your career path. This is where we see your strengths already regarding, because of your experience, because of some algorithms that we're using behind, right? And we see what your performance may be. So this could be the structure that you will have in your career path. This is bringing you, obviously, transparency, security, and you're a lot more engaged and motivated because you know there is a plan behind. And obviously, this is going to bring a lot more motivation to you. So, what do you think? What's the biggest benefit of it? Let's see. Okay, it's a fight between opportunities and development. I think at the end, it's pretty much the same, right? So you have the opportunity to develop yourself. And this is what we're all the time talking about today, right? So it's how do I get better at the capabilities that I need and that my organization needs in the future? let's do the same with your company. So you have now a company. Why would you even start thinking about predictive hiring? So those are the benefits. So let's think about an organization that has a perfect alignment. Okay, I know this is not quite realistic, but let's go through us. A perfect alignment between legal, finance, HR, procurement. We have one strategy and obviously business. We have one strategy, we have one goal. If you would have that, you would be able to do a perfect predictive hiring that is going to give you efficiencies, is going to give you sustainable strategies, obviously, with talent as well. It's going to give you retention of your people. It's going to give you the scalability that you will need to be able to adapt really quickly to any other external changes that are happening. So you're going to have a USP. You're going to be more competitive. It's exactly the same example that I did before, right? So the candidates want to go to you. They don't want to go to anywhere else because they know with you they can develop themselves. And you're investing in them. So let's see what you said. You think the most important one. Oh, wow. Okay. That was pretty predictive as well. So competitiveness, right? This is why you should do it. This is why actually, if you're not already started yet or even finished yet, we need to start doing this. Another question is how? How do we get there? So I'm gonna give you 3 easy steps. Okay, yeah, they're not that easy. We usually start with data, and the data is about where to get it from. Is it really the information that I'm looking for? But yeah, it is about taking a look at your data and then analyzing it. Take a look at your raw data, your current supply, your future demand. Take a look at the gaps, exactly as the Spain manager, okay, I don't even know his name, but the Spain manager is doing. These are my players. This is my goal. How do I get there? Second step, build. We need to build a strategy to manage these gaps and mitigate the risks. And of course, build a candidate journey that is taking in consideration all of the, let's say, external impacts that I said before. How? So we need to think cross-functionally. This is what I said before, right? So let's understand the current issues of every of these divisions that I said before, the line. Let's not forget finance. It is really important for us to understand what's their strategy. Can we actually afford having more FTEs or not? What's our OPEX? What's our CAPEX, right? So we need to get them into the whole boat. The same with procurement, right? So they do have another part of another way of thinking, and we should have the same understanding of where we're gonna go. We said we have demographic issues, so let's do a retention plan. Let's think about, okay, where in the line of this predictive hiring am I maybe losing capabilities of the people retiring, and let's build them and train maybe my new people into those capabilities, or retain these people as well. Right? So how do I get that? What is it that I want to train? Which type of capabilities do we need? Which kind of capabilities I want to also buy, right? Because it might not be worth it to train them. And the same with future workplace, right? So we have multi-generational people working together. We have so many different interests right now more than ever working together. So some want more money, some want something a lot different, right? So flexibility in the way of working, hybrid working. So let's try to get one strategy behind. And last but not least, definitely not least, let's keep in mind that this predictive hiring should not just be about internal workforce. Predictive hiring should include, and that's why I said procurement before and also finance, your external workforce. It's about total talent management. It's not just about your internal employees, predictive hiring. And so while you're doing this risk assessment and gap analysis, also think about, as I said before, what to train. So are they skills, different skills that I may not need in the future? So why not to buy them for a period of time? If my finance CFO is saying, okay, now is not the time to hire any people, any internals, what can be my other strategy, right? So could I get temporary employees to use for a time until I can internalize them, right? So it is about looking at the whole and not just at one type of workforce. And so we were at step 2. So we analyzed the data, we looked at the data, we looked at the gaps, and now designed a really great strategy how to mitigate those and a candidate journey. Now let's implement. Let's go for it. Let's actually do the work to make it happen. Measure if it was valuable for you. And last but not least, and really important, let's readjust in 6 months, 12 months time, because you will definitely not get it 100% right, and that's okay. If we get it 80% right, then it's already something. So, I am really keen to hearing in which phase of these 3 phases, and I introduce also a phase 0 into the QR codes, you think you are today, or your company is, or for candidates, the people that are applying right now are feeling in the market, right? So are we there yet? I'm really keen to see this. Okay, can we see the slide up, please? Okay. Oh, wow. There are actually companies already in the implementation phase. I would like to hear more while having a drink afterwards, please. Because I'm really keen to understand how are you getting there, so even further. So I'm really happy to see that it's really mixed, really diverse, the results, but you can see that it's still about 40% haven't started yet, and that's okay, right? We still have time, so we could start. Let's summarize maybe what we talked about today. So why should we start doing predictive hiring? Because it is a good thing, it's a benefit for your candidates, for all the candidates in the market, that it's going to give you as a company an amazing USP, and it's going to increase obviously the opportunities to getting exactly the candidate that you need. How can you get there? 3 easy steps. Really importantly, in between that, lessons learned. Think cross-divisionally. Don't do it alone. Think about total workforce and not just about your permanent internal employees. And the last question is, when should we start? And I think the answer will be right now, today. So if you start today, you can still make it to the World Championship 2026, and then you will have your predictive hiring. Thank you so much.
You have to sit down. And so we have a panel now. It's 6 chairs, so it's one for and one for you, Max. This is work. We have 4 other panelists. Just say names and then let you introduce yourself. It's much easier you do it like your own. So we have from Biogen, it's Carolina. She's an HR, welcome. We have from Zurich Financial, Alicia. We have from Frontable, HR, what do I do? Very nice. So we have 5. So, I need you see, we'll stiff out much more. How do I do that panel? I think I have to start with 2 3 business questions, and I want to go into a bit more really HR questions. Let's say I ask each one the questions, and then I would like to give you the word so that there is a diversity in terms of questions. And I would like with Max discuss that. And but before I do that, let me introduce you. Sorry.
So, Carolina Monev, I'm a HR partner for Biogen Switzerland. Hi everyone, I'm Caroline Curry, head HR for Onboard. Thank you.
That was short, huh? So, Max, the business model from Biogen. You have, let's say, 10% what's in India, really high skilled, expensive people here. And in India, there are, well, 220,000, 210,000 of your workforce, but on a low price. That's your business model for the last 30, 40 years. Now AI is coming, and how is the business model working in the future? Is it still the same, or does AI completely change your business model?
Thank you, Heinz. So it's true, the majority of our people are not locally. They might be in the shore centers or we are spread across all major cities because we want to be close to the universities and attract and retain talents there. So you cannot just be in one city in India, and you need to be spread across. And absolutely, these Indian service providers are known in the past for cost arbitrage, right? You had 10 people doing a job here, cost workers. If you replace them by 10 in India, you might pay 1/6 of the cost. Today, that's no longer really what companies are looking into. So on one hand, India is a huge talent. So we simply have not enough talents in IT, digital technologies in Switzerland, not even in Europe. So we need India. It's a talent. And then instead of transferring them to Europe, why not working with them locally in a language? That's still okay. And the other part is that we don't look at these 10 people here, we look at what is the process, what tools are used, how can we modernize, transform, put some AI into the mix, and then maybe do it with 4 people in India and 1 person in Switzerland, add some technology flavor to it, and you still have maybe 1/3 of the cost. So it's not just cost arbitrage, moving workload from Switzerland to India, in our example, it has a lot to do with transformation with that mix. And then our clients expect continued productivity gain over the time. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Going to the Swiss bank, the front of Swiss bank, AI might be a topic. It's not an online bank, it's a traditional private bank. But what do you think AI and your people does to your business in the Swiss bank?
It's a private bank and it's an asset manager, so I want to learn. AI, I'm just going to talk about technology because the default word has become AI and sometimes it's a bit of a shortcut. So I would say on one side, Montauban has been investing quite heavily in technology for many years. But what we've observed when AI, ChatGPT, I would say, started was real excitement and 1,000 flowers, everyone has a better idea. So we needed to really structure how we would develop and choose where we invest in the AI space. And actually there are a lot of opportunities. I mean, take HR. I mean, how do you interact with a very efficient ChatGPT HR kind of tool versus having to call a call center wherever based. But we do have AI, especially in one of our investment boutiques, Quant One, developing digital twins, which means you do have investment strategies defined and based on AI and machine learning. That's not new. I mean, we had our first digital twin in 2019. What we also develop, I would say it's not necessarily landed, but how do we advise our clients better? How do we provide better information based on our research to clients when it comes to their own investment? How do we know client better with a ton of information? But structuring the information will help us be better. Obviously, there are a lot of challenges, and we're regulated, compliance matter, and sometimes it takes a bit more development and steps than one would wish. There are a lot.
Thanks a lot, very interesting. Combining business model and people, then you're in recruiting. And I think I'm in recruiting as well, 18 years, changed 4 times in that times. Looking ahead with AI, I mean, do you need any recruiters anymore as an external source? Because AI can do it, companies, your customers can do it by yourself. What do you think this recruiting market is changing with AI and your experience in recruiting for yourself?
So I think it's obviously a challenge, right? Because it's change. But it's also a real good opportunity to get more efficient, to get the job done in a more efficient way, and letting our people actually do more the people business part of it instead of the whole administrative part of the job, right? And so it's about finding the balance of what is it that it's necessary that this person is going to be doing, and what is it that machine can support us to do, or digitalization can support us to do. So I don't think it's going to be a bad thing for recruitment at all. It's going to be an absolute change, and it is already an absolute change in the way that we recruit, and it's just more efficient and more personal driven. So we have a lot more time to talk to our candidates, to network, to actually understand more what is it that it makes you the perfect candidate for our clients. So.
Thank you very much. Okay, perfect candidates. Mauricio. To let you know, Mauricio is responsible for the top leaders at Zurich Financial. They ask him, I mean, everybody would like to be there, you know, the top 200 of a big corporation. My question to you is, how do we get there? Is AI needed to get there in the future? Or will the 100, 200 completely change by half due to AI because the algorithm has some other ideas? What do you think about that? And what is the advice with this here getting to the top 200? Any company, not specific. Sorry.
Super easy question.
I mean, you're already there for a month, so
Let me step up for a second and understand the implication of the talent. Because at the end of the day, we are thinking of, okay, what do I need to do to be there in that group, a small group, in any company? Forget about the name of the company. At the end of the day, it's not about being an expert on your vertical only. I think that you mentioned something about cross-functional element. This is more about navigating the enterprise. Because at the end of the day, when change is coming, and we saw that in your presentation, that okay, that fear about we're going to be out of the labor market is not new. It's super old. The point is the speed of the change. But I think that we need to understand first, any company needs people delivering results. That's the entry ticket for the conversation. But understanding that, there are some leadership elements, leadership capabilities that we and any company is taking into consideration. Understanding how to navigate the enterprise, understanding that I'm doing this job and a job, and how that is connected with finance, with different parts of the organization. There is an element of how do you encourage the learning for you and for the organization. At the end of the day, if we are leading change, it's about learning and having that agility to adjust and adapt, and to provoke and change. So it's not something that we are not capable of. I think that is how we leverage AI in any look and feel. It could be RPA, it could be agentic AI, it could be any kind of AI or automation, and to free up that time and to focus on the activity that as today AI can support. It's more the human side of the leadership. So answering your question is about not being only an expert. Yeah, we need to be expert in what we are doing, but how that expertise is connected across the enterprise and how you foster that in your team and across the organization. It's a generic answer, but it's related not to the technology. Tomorrow could be something different. It's about the ability to create that transformation across the organization. That requires a lot of leadership presence.
Great answer, thank you very much. And be sure, if you ask ChatGPT would not have answered like him. You know, it would in a different way. And that's, I think, it's, decisions are made by emotions and not by skills. And the skill set is what you learn in Cortex and things like that. That's ChatGPT can really do, and the AI can do it really well. But decision making is done by emotions, by people, and that will be the case in 30 years. And going in that long term, I spoke about young people. And Samba has, let's say, 2/3 of the people are in QA, they did the MBA 10, 15 years ago. We have other people here who did the MBA just recently, in 13, 40, they have 30 years old ahead and some life pension. But this AI and people with HR means for the young generation. What you said, it's important for my generation.
I can also answer a bit more in general. I think that we have to be much more sensitive to the demographic shifts in the job market and within the HR trends in general, because as Paolo already mentioned, what we're facing at the moment is baby boomers hitting their retirement age. That means that we have an expertise in the organizations that we will be missing from one year to another. At the same time, we have the new generations that will be losing potential on those people that they could be learning from. So AI gives us an opportunity to close this gap of passing this expertise between the generations. And I think that this is where the AI can bring us a lot of advantages. Of course, it's also about the pace of learning, because for the young generation or any employee at any generation at the moment, it is absolutely a must to be in a continuous learning mode, because we need to ensure that we continuously remain relevant to our roles, but also to the job market. So AI is also a tool that can help us drive these learning activities and really help us to get there in a much faster pace than it was happening back in the days. What else when it comes to maybe AI? I think that again, it's not about the generations, it's about adaptability at the moment. So if you're able to adapt, if you're able to pick up the new topics, and more importantly, put these into practice on a daily basis, this is how you become successful.
Great, thank you very much. So I wrote was what's going on to one of your people. For that reason, I asked Rebecca whether she can ask the first question. Council and those have. So after her, it's your turn, no? And I think we have 10, 12 questions to answer. So yeah, the 90 is each in one row, you know? So think about who is that, then please be prepared to ask the question. Thank you very much. Rebecca.
I'm sorry, I'm confused. So to your point, thank you so much, Carolina, for the AI bridging the gap between the generations and, you know, covering that training need. That was a really insightful application of AI to HR. And Zurich is hiring tons. It's good to be you. No, I mean, yeah, Zurich is true. I was just thinking one thing that could be challenging, and I think Belgium is going through that challenge. I don't know so much about you, Caroline, for example, but talent acquisition, yes, but let's see talent integration, because you're acquiring quite a lot of companies. So how do you do that? With or without AI?
So I think that we like to think that we nailed it, but every time we're doing it all over again, it feels like you're doing it the first time. So, and the biggest challenge is the cultural differences, because when you're acquiring an organization, it's not necessarily about the individuals and the skill set and the knowledge that they bring, because this is something that you can teach, that you can close these gaps that you might have identified. But I think the most difficult to navigate is to align the cultures, or at least to first understand the culture and to bring two different cultures together. And this is not necessarily something that AI will have answers for you in. So I think that, again, there are certain things that can be automated. There are certain things that with help of AI can drive a lot of efficiencies, but there's also still this huge human factor and something that you cannot put the finger on. It's sometimes a feeling, it's sometimes the way people behave. This is not going to be answered by ChatGPT or give you the golden rules of, you know, how to approach it. It's very human, and this is how it should be approached, with a human feel, with a human touch.
Great, thank you very much. The nice thing about old school is that e-contact still works and we don't need a machine. So we have the first question. I don't know which rule is this, but it's something like 8. So we're off the hook after this. I just wanted to ask a question regarding AI bias. We all know we got some explicit bias, but also implicit one that maybe we're less in control of. You guys as AI HR leaders, how much concerned are you about AI potentially enforcing biases that you employees in HR who are doing recruitment are already potentially having when they look at candidate profiles? Would you like to answer the question? Well, thank you.
The panel selected me for the unbiased. That's a tricky one, because AI, generative AI, is based on some language models. And those language models will learn from your company's knowledge. Any document it can find, any recent decision that has been taken. And now think about if that was biased, then the language model will be biased too. So it needs an element of governance that actually controls that and make sure that ideally the AI model will be less biased than we as individuals are today, right? We admit, I'm biased at times, maybe unconscious, maybe conscious. So it's really a challenging. I didn't give you the answer how we do it. I'm just saying, hey, it's a massive issue.
Yeah.
Go.
And so I think that the review of the algorithm, it's really important into it. Right? So yes, you can design the first algorithm, but you need to review it and check if what the result that is pulling out is actually the one that you're expecting.
Okay, sorry.
I mean, I'm not gonna add something revolutionary to what you say, but actually the human is extremely biased. We are very biased, and I think the machine will learn, and you can still influence the machine. So there are already attempts being made where people actually trust the machine more. I mean, I wouldn't say coaching now is at the point where you can do exact coaching via AI or agentic, but there are some very good development here. And I think we need to be a bit opportunistic here and test. It's always less advanced than we think, but I'm very confident that, yeah, AI will have emotions, will have the ability to adjust to you, to put it as is. And maybe this is how, when we're going to collaborate with AI agents, we will be at this place where we collaborate with another person, but with emotions, etc. And it's okay. They will have bias as much as we have bias. I mean, is that an issue if they are being biased? In a way, we still use our brain.
Oh, Mark has a question.
Mark and Wayne.
Yeah. No, ladies first.
Hi, my name is Dani. I'm the founder of the AI Career Accelerator. And my question is, so end of February, DBS is planning to fire 4,000 people. That's about 10% of their employees, because these jobs are going to be replaced by AI. And now my question to you, how do you deal with such topics coming up probably in your leadership, which is considering replacing employees by AI? So how does that go, and what is exactly your role in driving such conversations? Thank you.
I think the first thing is understand the research. It's about actually the ability of our employees, long-term improvement. The first HR is how do we help our employees to upskill the skills and be up to date with the skills that are required. That's what was HR. CC, HR. Then there are decisions. And then there are decisions. At the end of the day, is how we ensure we have skills.
I think we're not that advanced in most of the companies. I mean, at least at Monzo, but I think it's really an opportunity, like where everyone thinks they have too much. At this point, it's like, how do I get a better work-life balance by simplifying certain things, because this is early stage of AI, and I think this is what's happening most. The day we really do replace entire teams by agents, etc. I mean, obviously this is a different conversation. I think everyone needs to be thinking about what is my definition of my role as a company, my social responsibility. But to your earlier point, it's also really questioning totally the way we've looked at workforce planning and location strategies. Because right now, the conversation from nearshoring, offshoring is really shifting to, you know, how can that be done by AI? So I don't know, I don't have the big case now, but probably there will be an arbitrage versus do I want to be replaced by technology and eventually, as you were saying, train upskill people on something else versus offshoring in different places. And we have the demographic issue in any case, so there would be just more work hitting us. And I'm sure you're part of these people who feel there is always more, and it would be cool if something could help me to do more interesting things.
Yeah, so it's again for months, so because the talent, I think you mentioned that it's driving the company and so on. So I was just wondering, how do you measure it? Like how does someone really drives the company, and also like how HR is really involved in deciding who is the top talent, or is it like someone else, or how does the process work? So is it your decision or like a management team, like who decides who is the top 200 and so on? How do you have a criteria list? How you evaluate? I think that would be of interest.
That is a multi-million-dollar question. Our role is to create the tools and to create this and set the conversation. Then it's up to each business line to understand what is required to perform that business line. It's not like it's a centralized mind thinking, okay, you are a top talent, you are not, and that is not okay. How do we ensure that we have the tools so the organization can understand what is the best talent to be in that group? It's more an organic conversation than a centralized discussion.
Maybe just to add to it, I think that what we have not seen before is that the definition of the talent is changing much more often than we have seen it before. So the definition of the talent is changing much more often. What we could consider a talent 5 years ago would no longer be considered a talent nowadays. So because it's driven by the changing skill set and the changing needs of the market, so it's very difficult for the organizations as well to first define what does success look for me as an organization, and what does my workforce need to enable the success of my organization. And this continuous evaluation of the skill set needed for the future is a never-ending story. So you will probably hear a trend that came up around 2 years ago, which is skills-based organizations. And this is exactly feeding to this purpose, to understand what do I need for the future and how do I upskill my workforce to enable them to be considered a talent on the market, on the internal market, but also external market, and what do I need as an organization.
And we're assessing that potential or assessing talent. I mean, there are many organizations doing this in this way. At least understanding what are the foundational elements of the potential, then understanding the potential for what. When we speak about the foundational element of the potential, it's one of the elements in that in the bottom of the iceberg that are driving some of the behavior. So it's more than understanding that it's science behind assessing potential, than not only saying, okay, this is a good performer for this context. understanding the design part, the personality, understanding the context, what you were saying, and maybe this personality in this context is going to succeed, and this personality in a different context is not going to succeed. So it depends on the context. You have something that is at the bottom, but you need to put that on context. Talent for what?
Max, maybe that's a question for you because I aspired answering these two questions, imagining with measuring the gap between where you're now and where you should be next, right?
And there's the next question down there. Yeah, of course, for us in the people's business, it's a constant evaluation of the leaders and the employees. Do their skills match with what's demanded from the market? And again, it's not just the ability to do a job, it's actually using the latest accelerators technology to do the job faster in our way and better than anyone else can do it. And this means we have to invest a lot in it. So that's manage, and AI is just a part of pretty much everything we do. Clients expect it. So when they ask us to do a job, they say, "And what tools do you use?" I just don't want to have 5 engineers. What makes you faster than I worked with any other company or I did it myself? It's fascinating.
Hi, I'm Georges. I actually have a question which is followed by the previous question about DBS Bank. So okay. So I have worked for DBS Bank for almost 4 years, and it is really sad to know that 10,000 people got laid off. I was part of the AI platform team, ALA, which is now the Harvard study. It is nominated over there. It was such an amazing project and I learned quite a lot. And as a finance, it was not very easy to have AI-driven user experience for portfolio management, investments, how AI can lead that instead of Google. And we had like collaboration with the government and a lot of approval because it's also part of government, Singapore government. And then it reached the point now that it is running really, really amazing. What my question is, if DBS can do that using AI to get the accuracy, why other banks are not having that compliance part tied up with the government to
I might miss a bit of context. I might even not answer your question, probably I won't. Why others don't have, I think that's a bit a point I was doing in the preparation session, is it is an evolving world. Regulatory is still adjusting and trying to figure it out. We want to be compliant all the time. We have client data that's so precious. We do not want to screw up. That's one element. And really, I mean, there are things that are ready, just not ready to be launched because they haven't achieved or passed this kind of test. So I don't have a perfect answer to that, but actually, can I 2 minutes? This morning I have this AI conversation, and I was telling you, Carolina, the person I spend the most time with right now discussing AI topic is our compliance person responsible for AI. Yes. She's the one. And her point is like, we need to train everyone on AI. And it's mandatory training. And I'm like, yeah, good. Well, on what? On what do you train people? I just want to ask you precisely on what do you train people? Yes, to use prompts in a nice way, but unless you have a proper product, a proper case, a proper whatever to be learned from it, I think it's hard to really point out what needs to be learned. Awareness or good, demystifying, play with, experiment, go home. I mean, there are tons of things where you can really get inspired by, but right now, we are a big challenge with what is that can be learned. learning adaptability, learning people, teaching people to think, to question, to businesses, and those are more traits than skills. Right now, it's not so obvious which are the skills we need to train people on. And yes, to start with, be compliant when using AI.
So, in my observation, what I saw while working with DBS, we actually developed university and academy internally, especially to target this, how we enforce people to get into the learning curve of understanding AI. Every test, every regular checks, and then it was a culture shift. It was not easy, but years over years and month over month, they could actually achieve that with the shift of, because mindset is something we cannot change overnight. But it was like process of maybe 5 years or 6 years to only talk about it, to bring that change. That's what
Yeah, I think people are often afraid about change, that's what I'm hearing. I would have the counter view of people are, and I have said it at the beginning, are also excited about the new things. And sometimes you have to select. We launched the Vontobel GPT 2 years ago, and two people play within the framework, but play. And actually, this is the best way to get adoptions, in my view. And yes, now we're thinking about what are exactly the curriculums for whom, but don't train an AI-focused engineer on the basics of AI. It makes no point. And I think this is where we need to be a bit clever and adjust the people we have.
Maybe you're oversimplifying this. This is a personal review. Everybody has a cell phone here. If you open the app that you have many social media apps. And I bet that minimum number of people went through a training on how to use social media. We all learned by doing this. Within the framework, but we can do it. And I think that at some point, AI is becoming like that. It's more jumping in, understanding the framework, and learning. That's how we learn to use the social app that we have. It's personal opinion.
Or to walk.
Or to walk, or just well.
Hello, so I'm Anna, I'm HR business partner at Takeda, not far from here. And my question would be about the future of HR and basically what would be the main value, in your opinion, of the HR function in the future, considering that, for example, in Takeda, we currently have a project of a digital HR partner. And to my ears, it sounds a little bit funny that actually the only function of the human function in the company would be digitalized. And some startups, I know, even back at the time, were talking about completely outsourcing HR and not having any HR person actually present in the company. So the question is, what do you think would be in the future the value of HR, and what is the main skill that we as HR professionals have to have in order to bring the value to the company? I have an idea about that, but I'd like to hear from you.
We can go into the generation question to employment. People want to have now meaningful careers that are aligned with their values, with their maybe life goals, any prospects, right? And I think that artificial intelligence can help us in really driving this personal, individual experience for the employees to improve the retention. At the moment, we have the same journey for every employee, from hire to retire, and people don't want to be put in the same bucket. For one person, development will be a priority. For the other person that has a family, maybe they just want to have a day-to-day job for some time before they start looking to develop the change. So I think that for me, when I see the opportunity to AI to be used is to really drive these individual, very tailored employee journeys that will allow people to continuously develop and stay and be retained in their organizations for a longer period of time. So I think that's one. Second, and probably most important, is the data. So it is absolutely critical, and I think that we always kind of knew that data is important, but we never really put enough attention for us to gather the data to drive our decisions in HR. And this is also where I see AI really changing the game for HR. I just read the report of Gartner, and there was a question on whether you would prefer an AI to make a financial decision on your salary increase, or whether you would prefer HR business partner or any or your line manager to make this decision. And around 40% of the people already said, I would prefer an AI to make this decision. Hopefully, this decision not to be biased, as it would be if the person made that decision. Again, we have to be careful because, as Mark said, it's a system that it's continuously evolving, so we cannot trust it fully. But I see there are a few areas and few elements where the data can be used in a more efficient way to really drive the meaningful decision, how the organizations are being run, and how the employee journeys can be improved.
Thank you. So we have two more questions left. So there is one here, and then the last one for you, and then we go to the peers. So 2 questions.
Hello, my name is Matthias. Thanks a lot for being here. These days, many firms ask their employees to write down their skills, competencies, and stuff like that. So my question is, in how far can you use this data in order to assess the value of the human capital, meaning intangible assets? And this is especially interesting for due diligence purposes, where company A wants to help company B. And just a small additional question about the culture. How can you assess whether culture A works with culture B of the other firm? I've been involved in so many M&A projects as an HR manager across countries, same country. In some cases it worked really well, and others was kind of challenging afterwards. So how can you assess it? Maybe using AI. Thank you very much.
It's maybe a bit unconventional, but all this gather the skills of everyone in the firm, self-assessment. I mean, if you would listen to all my list of skills, probably 50% you would say she doesn't have them, or they're outdated or whatsoever. So again, I know I'm not going to be mainstream here, but we need to be mindful about how much is being invested in mapping the perfect skill set of all our employees in our organization for what. And then to just challenge the fact that self-assessment is biased assessment, because we have a biased view on who we are. So, I mean, there are ways to assess skills, but I wouldn't always ask himself or herself, unless I know very much why I need to use it. Assessing the perfect match of the culture or of a potential couple, I mean, I think that's smart as well. But I mean, you worked a lot on integration, etc. I mean, we also do have framework, and those help us to ask ourselves the right question, but always adapt the reality you have. And I think the openness and the transparency of having the conversation at a very early stage on what is very different has proven sometimes a bit, challenging for the people in the room, but healthy. I mean, don't have a better answer to very tough questions.
Just to quickly touch base on the culture, I also don't have more input because the organizations that we had were much smaller. So It's also different if you merging two big giants with historical, cultural behaviors that you will not be able to influence or change in a short time. I think that we were lucky because I think pharma biotech industry has a similar base that it probably is similar to finance industry, that certain things will be similar. For us, it was more, to hear more personal feedback from the people that consider us as a big player, where we comparing ourselves to Novartis or Roche are not considering ourselves a big player. But then you see the differences in the mindset when people are coming from the much smaller organization, even a few hundred, for example, compared to the organization that has few thousands. Even the size makes a difference because they have this family feel. They know everyone. They know exactly who does what. And if they need something, they go to John or they go to Maria to get things fixed. And this is not how things work in a big organization. So I think that there's a lot of elements, and unfortunately there's no playbook for that.
And adding to that, so my personal opinion, if you can put a dollar sign behind the skill set of the people that you have in the organization is probably different from one year to another, right? So it's exactly what we were talking before. So what is it that you need? Which type of skills is that you need in that exact moment for your success? And if you're measuring in that moment, then it may be a different one than 5 years later. So I think putting a dollar sign behind, even with AI, would be quite difficult.
Specialized in talent development, and we spoke a lot about skilling, upskilling. And so I do see the way AI can help actually to increase the efficiency of training programs. That's one of the challenges I'm tackling a lot. However, for the more, I don't like the word soft skills. I don't like it. I would prefer to call it human skills, right? Such as communication, collaboration. Those skills are very difficult to develop, takes time. And I just don't see how AI can help there to get this kind of programs more efficient. We're having an idea.
I mean, I'm not an expert like you, but I've seen pretty amazing tools being developed where, I mean, the AI agent is not exactly as human as I am, but, I could doubt. And here, let's try, let's look at what is available. Not every technology is perfect yet, but it's going very, very fast. And human skills, look, I don't like to screw up in front of you. You're a human, you're going to judge me. Again, the machine will give me advices, be direct without being offensive. Why not? I cannot give you a name specifically, but there are a lot of things going on. And I would advocate that while you wouldn't have necessarily the experience of the network and other human beings, which is a big part of training for me, learning can happen through these new tools. And we just need to be very close to the latest development, because if it's not where it should be now, I'm pretty confident in 2 years, we will be pretty amazed.
As today, I tend to agree with you on the human skills versus soft skills. I think that looking into the future is something's going to happen, we don't know what. But double click on the human skills. We have some personality and some characteristics that we can evolve, we can elevate, and some of them we cannot change. If I am introvert and I am not interpersonal sensitive, and I low sociability, is going, well, It's going, I'm going to need a lot of energy to be sociable, to network, to be in social events, to understand what other people are thinking of me, because it's not part of my natural characteristics. And the opposite also applies. So I think that being clear on our personality and our characteristics, and also the personality and characteristics of our leaders, could help us to be more efficient on how we use and allocate energy and leverage their strength, instead of asking doing something that is not natural. Can they do that? Can we do that? Yes. What is the level of energy that we need to allocate for the effort we need to make it happen? That's a different question. So I would like to keep that human skills highlighted, because that today, that's the key differentiation. I'm going to stop talking.
He's so funny guy, you know. No, this was the this is the concentration, even though we have very high skills and things like that. I think that's it. This was a really pleasure to have you here. It was encouraging, it was active. I liked it, so thank you very much for the keynote speakers, Max and Paolo, as well for the very active role as panelists. And now it's going back the survey, so please have a few feedback after the discussion with Hedberg, skill side, and thank you very much. Let's make a selfie with all. You know, there is one selfie one by Great, good and brief. Thank you very much.